right, so let's find a comfortable seat. Adding a cushion or blanket underneath your hips if you would like. Support your pelvis. Makes it a little easier to sit for a little longer. And we'll begin with rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. And bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, you can float your hands down, either keeping your eyes closed or just gently gazing downward. Send your spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Lift your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibrations. Take another deep breath in. Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning and set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness back to your breath. Allow each inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding and opening, contracting and relaxing. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full, deep breath, expanding the lungs in all directions with each inhale, completely releasing the breath with each exhale. As you continue this full, deep breath, gently begin to lengthen the pause between the inhale and the exhale, moving into the 4-part breath, making all 4 parts of the breath even. You can base the count of the breath on what your natural breath is in the moment, or you can choose a count and work with that. 3 or 4 is usually a good place to start. So inhaling for that count of 4, or whatever your choice is, holding for that same count, exhaling for the same count, and holding again for the same count. Continuing, you can kind of envision a square with the breath, if that helps, having a visual image. Do one more full round. When you reach the end of the hold after your exhale, gently return to your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice any changes you feel in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Now bringing your awareness to your right hand, allowing the tip of the thumb and pointer finger to come together. And bring those fingertips to your heart center. Turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart. Looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes. If you'd like to switch your legs or switch positions, please go ahead and do that. And with your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by your ears. And as you exhale, press the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. We'll bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down, tucking the shoulder blades, strengthening those muscles around the scapula, lifting the heart. Then gently pressing the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart a little more, gently squeezing the center of the shoulder blades together, wringing out any tension. And then gently open the arms wide, turning the palms up. Lift the heart a little more, tucking the shoulder blades. Squeeze the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. If it feels okay, you can flex the wrist, pressing through the palms. And then bringing the arms in front, crossing the right over the left, bending at the elbows, hands back to back or left hand around the right wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently press forward with the elbows, squeezing the arms together. Softening the neck and the jaw. Breathing into the upper back. If it feels okay, you can begin lowering and lifting the elbows. And with your next inhale, if it feels okay, lift the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And as you exhale, round the spine, dropping the shoulders, dropping the arms down, breathing into the upper back, letting the weight of the arms add a little extra stretch. Being careful of your low back. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And unwrap the arms, opening wide, pressing through the palms if that feels okay, squeezing through the lower corners of the shoulders. And then coming in front again, left over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back or right hand around the left wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Jaw and neck are relaxed. Squeezing the arms together or pressing the elbows forward as you breathe into the upper back. If it feels okay, you can begin lowering and lifting the elbows, extending that stretch around the shoulders. And then with your next inhale, lifting the elbows a little higher, gently arching if that feels okay. Exhale, rounding the spine, dropping the arms down, being careful of the low back. Releasing through the upper back. And with the next inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, unwrap the arms, reaching them out to the sides, tucking the shoulder blades. With your next inhale, let's turn the palms up, squeezing those shoulder blades down, keeping the shoulder blades engaged as you exhale, rotate forward. It's really working on that internal rotation of the shoulders, following your breath, keeping the shoulder blades in place. And then you can begin making circles with the wrists. Your hands can be open or be into fists, whatever feels right for you. And reversing those. And we'll bring the hands together at the heart. Interlace the fingers. Press the palms out in front. Roll the shoulders forward. Drop the chin round the spine. With your next inhale, lift the palms up over your head, gently arching. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Once more, lift. And this time as you exhale, leave the palms up and gently drop the chin. Softening the elbows, roll the shoulder blades back toward each other. Squeezing the upper corners of the shoulder blades together, wringing out tension through the trapezius muscle. Soften the jaw. Release the back of the neck gently. And if it feels okay, press the palms up a little higher. With your next inhale, lift the chin. And as you exhale, gently twist to the right and float the hands down. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, gently twisting to the right. Head comes around last. Hold and breathe, lifting and twisting gently. Notice the shoulders, allowing them to soften down the back. If it feels okay, you can bring the chin over your left shoulder. And then gently back to the right. Keeping the left hand on the knee. Inhale the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Hold and breathe, dropping that right hip, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale to the center. And take a breath in and out. We'll interlace the fingers. Inhale the palms up over the head. Exhale, gently twisting to the left and floating the hands down. Right hand to the left. Nope, yeah, that's right. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the right hip. Deep breath in, lifting the spine. Exhale, gently twisting. Hold and breathe, lifting your heart with each inhale, twisting through the ribs with each exhale. If it feels okay, you could bring your chin over your right shoulder. And then back to the left. And with your next inhale, lift the left arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body, dropping the left hip toward the mat, lifting the heart, fingertips reaching across the ceiling. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale back to the center. Let's extend the legs out in front of us. You can stay on the blanket, on the edge of the blanket if you like, or you can remove that, whichever works best for you. Let's start with flexing the feet. And then we'll point the toes. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Now let's point one foot and flex the other. And then switch. And switch. And switch. And let's engage the quadriceps, drawing the kneecaps up. If you're sitting on a blanket, you can't really lift the heels off of the floor, but think about drawing those kneecaps up, working both the inner and outer quads, pressing the calves into the floor without hyperextending the knees. And then we'll soften the legs. Inhale the arms up over the head. Exhale, gently fold forward, hands resting on the legs, floor, or feet. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, softening. Hold and breathe, lengthening with each inhale, softening through each exhale. And with your next inhale, let's lift up tall. We're going to bring the right ankle over the left thigh. You can take off your socks if you have them on. We're going to place the right hand on the sole. Nope, that's not it. The left hand on the sole of the right foot. Interlacing the fingers and toes. Stretching them out a little. And let's begin to make small circles with the ankle. And reverse the circles. Trying to release the ankle, letting the hand do all the work. And we'll unlace the fingers and toes, wrapping the fingers underneath the small toe on the outside of the foot. We'll bring the right hand underneath the left. No, I don't know what's happening with my left and right this morning. Underneath the right ankle. Inhale, take a deep breath in, or lift up tall, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to lift the foot up toward the forehead. Inhale, lower and lengthen the spine. Exhale, lift. Just goes that direction, doesn't need to reach it. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. You can keep the foot in the hand. You can bring it to the forearm or into the elbow. And then we'll bring the right arm out. Can take hold of the knee or wrap around into the elbows. If your hands can interlace, you can hold here or you can be holding here. So whatever works best for your body right now. And we'll begin to gently rock side to side, lubricating the hip and giving our nervous system a little soothing with this rhythmic rocking motion. And then gently hugging the leg in toward your leg, just or toward your body, just as far as feels okay. And then release. Shaking out the legs, just noticing what feels the same or different on the right and the left side. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the left ankle over the right thigh, interlacing the fingers and toes. And again, making some gentle circles with the ankle, trying to release the ankle, letting the hand do all the work. And reverse the circles. And then we'll unlace the fingers and toes and we'll wrap the hand underneath the outside of the foot. Left hand under the left ankle. Spine lifts up tall. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the foot toward the forehead. Again, doesn't need to get there. Inhale, lower, lengthening the spine. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. You might also be noticing a difference on one side to the other. Inhale, lower. You can keep the hand, or the foot in the palm of the hand. You can bring it to the forearm or into the crease of the elbow. Left arm comes out, either hand on the knee or wrapping into the elbow. And holding the leg in whatever way feels comfortable. And again, gently rocking. And then gently hugging the leg in toward the body just as much as feels okay. And gently releasing. Go ahead and move the blanket out from underneath the hips. Let's go ahead and come actually onto our hands and knees. Adding a little extra cushion under your knees if you need to. We're going to work with the cat-cow. If you're just not comfortable to be on your knee today, you can do it in a seated position instead. So elbows are soft, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Head extends out from the spine. Shoulders tucked down the back. Neck is nice and long, belly is strong. Take a deep breath in and out. With your next inhaling breath, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, rounding. Follow your breath. And with your next inhaling breath, come back to table pose. Shoulders tuck, head extends out. Let's bring the knees together. And if it feels better to be on your fists or forearms, please go ahead and do that as well. We're just going to gently drop the hips to the side. Coming back to the center and dropping to the other side. Helps to stretch those outer hips. My hips just popped back into place and I didn't realize they were out of place. And then coming back to the center, let's tuck the toes under. Press the hips up and back into downward dog. Softening the knees, lengthening through the spine. Tucking the shoulders down the back. Chin is away from the chest, gently. Keeping those knees bent, press back through the hips, nice and long. Lengthening through the low back. And as it feels okay, you can gently begin to lower the heels down to the mat. And then we'll gently come back to the hands and knees. Shifting the weight over the shoulders over the wrists, can come into a modified plank with the knees bent or tuck the toes under, lifting the knees off of the mat. Belly drawn up. You can also come onto forearms, shoulders back and down. And then bringing the knees down and lowering the rest of the way to the mat. Keep the hands under the shoulders, zipping the legs together, pressing the top of the feet into the mat, pressing the pelvic bone into the mat. With your next inhaling breath, lift the head and chest into a gentle cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Strengthening through the back. If it feels okay, you could lift your hands gently off of the mat. And with your next exhale, gently lower down. We're going to bring the arms out into a T. Letting the chin or the forehead rest on the mat. Sorry, I need to silence that. All right, so we're going to bring the left hand back and place it on the mat. Having the right palm facing down, we're going to gently roll onto the right side. So your arm ends up kind of behind you. And then you can rest your head onto the mat, or if you need a cushion or a block under your head, go ahead and add that. So you could stay here, getting that stretch through the pectoral muscles. Or if it feels okay, you could bend your left leg, placing it on the floor behind your right, and allowing you to twist a little bit more. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, you could also bend both legs. So this is where it kind of is a little strange, but it gives you a nice twist. So your legs are bent, you're kind of resting on that right hip. Then if it feels okay, you could lift that left arm up and you can bring it to the right hip, left hip. Or if it feels okay, you could reach it back to find your other hand. So it's doing like a chest opener on your side, essentially. But it allows you to really kind of release into that shoulder and soften rather than working hard at that reach. Listen to your body, don't go too far. Then we'll bring that left hand back to the mat. Extend the legs out and roll back onto the belly. Take a breath here. Left arm extends out to the side. Right hand rests onto the mat. And we'll gently roll onto the left side. Resting the head onto the mat or onto a blanket. If it feels okay, you can bend the right leg, placing it on the floor behind you. If it feels okay, you could bend the left leg as well, adding a little bit more of a twist. And if it feels okay, you could bring that right arm up, resting it either onto the right hip or reaching it back, interlacing the fingers of the other hand. So seeing how much you can just soften and let go rather than working hard. We'll release the hands, bringing the right hand back to the mat, extending the legs out, rolling back to the belly. And take a breath in and out. Let's bring the hands under the shoulders, press the hips back to the heels, either coming into child's pose or with the hips over the knees into reclined puppy. Whichever version feels best for you in this moment. In whatever position you're in, make sure that your forehead is supported. So either by the mat or by stacked fists or a block. Breathing into the spine, creating space between the vertebrae. Bringing the hands under the shoulders, rolling the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. Let's tuck the toes under, pressing the feet down onto the mat, coming into Uttanasana, forward bend. If you'd like a block underneath your hands, please do that. You could place the hands on the floor, shins or knees as well. With your next inhaling breath, lift halfway. And as you exhale, fold over. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold over. If you can release the neck, lengthen through the low back, knees stay gently bent. Pressing into the feet, feel the sitting bones lifting high. And let's soften the knees. Inhale the arms out and up, palms together over the head. And exhale, hands to the heart. And coming or getting ready for a balance pose. If you'd like to use the wall, go ahead and move toward the wall is toward your back or side. We're going to do standing knee to chest with a twist. So if you want to do the twist, you'll want the wall on your side. So finding our feet hip width apart, finding our mountain pose. Spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes, spread them wide as you lower them down. Rooting into the feet, lengthening through the crown of the head. Shifting your weight to your left leg. Come up onto the big toe of your right foot and find a focus spot for your gaze. You could stay here or gently work on balance by lifting the toes, bending the ankle. If you're feeling steady enough, you can lift the knee, interlacing the fingers in front of the knee. Shoulders are back and down, belly is strong. Stay here or bring the knee up into the chest. Again, noticing those shoulders, rooting through the foot, lengthening through the crown of the head. Stay here, or if it feels okay and you want to extend your leg, you can take hold underneath the thigh or underneath the foot and extend the leg out. You can also use a strap here, placing the strap around the arch of the foot. And you can stay here, or from either position, you could bring the left hand to the outside of the knee or the outside of the foot. And then reach that right arm behind you. And then gently turn your vision toward the right hand if that feels okay. Tucking the right shoulder blade down, lifting the heart, holding as long as feels okay. And when you're ready, coming back to the center and lowering down. Shaking out that left leg. And then coming onto both feet again in our mountain pose. Spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong. Shift the weight to the right leg. Coming up to the big toe of the left foot and finding your focus spot for your gaze. Again, working with balance by bending the ankle, lifting the toes. If it feels okay, lifting the knee, interlacing the fingers. If it feels okay, bringing the knee up into the chest. Shoulders are back and down, belly is strong, right knee is slightly bent. If you'd like to work on the extension, you can bring the hands underneath the thigh or underneath the foot, or use the strap on the foot and lengthen the leg out. And again, if it feels okay to add the twist, you could bring your right hand either on the outside of the knee or the outside of the foot. Reach that left arm behind you, and then gently turn your vision toward the left hand. Tucking the shoulders down, lifting the heart. Holding as long as feels comfortable. And when you're ready, gently coming down and shaking out the legs. Let's spread our legs nice and wide. And then we're going to turn the right foot to point toward the short end of the mat. Drop the left heel back. And let's work with Trikonasana, triangle pose. So if you'd like to use a block for triangle, you can bring that on the inside of the right foot. Excuse me. I'm just going to turn this one moment. Drying me out a little. All right. So let's inhale the arms out at shoulder height. Exhale, we're going to press the left hip behind us. Reach the right arm out in front, floating the hand down toward the leg or block. Left arm floats up toward the sky, or the left hand can rest at the low back if that feels better for your shoulder. So whichever feels best for you. Think about pressing both feet into the mat, lengthening through the left side of the body, and softening through the hamstrings of the right leg. With your next inhale, press into the feet, lift up tall. Exhale, let's do it again. Press the left hip back, reach that right arm across the room, then let it float down. Notice if we went a little further. Pressing into the feet, lengthening through the side body, softening through the hamstrings. Noticing if your shoulders are facing toward the floor, rotate them so that they face the wall in front of you. And if you need to come up a little higher to do that, please do that. One more breath. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, float the hands down. We'll switch our feet. Left foot toward the short end of the mat. Right heel drops back at a 45-degree angle. Hips facing the long end of the mat. Inhale the arms out at shoulder height. Exhale, press the right hip out behind you. Reach the left arm across the room, and then floating the hand down toward the leg or block. Right arm floats up toward the sky or comes to the low back. Rotating the torso to face the wall. Lengthening through the side body. Softening through the hamstrings of the left leg and pushing actively into both feet. With your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, we'll do one more time. Hip presses out to the side, reaching that left arm out a little further, floating the arm down, right arm up toward the sky or to the low back. Torso faces the wall in front of you. Both legs are strong and active. Lengthen through the spine. And with your next inhale, press into the feet, lift up tall. And as you exhale, float the hands down. Let's bring our feet back together for a moment. And let's interlace the fingers and inhale the arms up over the head. Noticing if your knees lock when you do this, like mine do, and gently unlocking them and soften the knees. Press into the left foot and reach to the right. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, press into the right foot and reach to the left. Inhale, center. Follow your breath. Inhale to the center. And exhale, float the hands down. We'll walk our feet wide again. Inhale the arms up over the head. And exhale, swan dive, hips out behind us. Floating the hands down underneath the shoulders. Softening the knees. Pressing into the feet. Lifting up through the sitting bones. Neck is nice and long, spine is lengthening out. Pressing into those feet, lifting up through the sitting bones. Lower the head and chest toward the mat if that feels okay. Letting the low back lengthen and soften. Releasing the back of the neck. Then we'll gently walk our feet closer, just stopping outside of hip width apart. If you'd like to use a block for a malasana squat, place it in the center behind the heels. We'll lower the hips down. You can come into a high malasana squat, working on strengthening around the hips. Or if it feels okay for your knees, lowering the hips down onto the block or by the heels. You can also come all the way down to the mat, walking the feet a little further out, opening here. So doing what feels right for you in this moment. Lengthening the spine. If you're opening, you can have the elbows or upper arms pressing into the thighs or knees. Really try to soften through the inner groin muscles, letting the hips open. And when you're ready, coming the rest of the way down. Let's bring the left foot in toward the groin and have the right leg extended out. So we'll bring the left hand to the right knee, gently twisting, lifting the spine tall. And as you exhale, we'll slide that hand down the leg just as far as feels okay. If you would like to use a strap for this, you're welcome to do that as well. Lengthening the spine out, softening over the leg. Notice where you're holding on through the leg, hips, or back, and gently release. One more breath. With your next inhale, lift up tall. Let's switch and we'll bring the right hand to the left knee. Lengthening the spine tall, we'll inhale that left arm up by the left ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. The right shoulder comes toward the thigh, but the torso stays facing the wall rather than coming to face the floor. You can reach that left arm over toward the foot, or if it feels okay, you can also just keep it at the low back. Whichever feels best for you in this moment. Breathing into the left side of the body. That QL muscle from the sacrum up into the ribs should be getting a nice stretch here. Also your hamstrings. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll place the left hand on the mat. Right arm reaches over the leg. And then we'll move into crescent pose as a counter pose. So inhale, lifting up onto the knee if that feels okay. Bringing that right arm over the ear. You could also keep the hip on the mat, reaching over like this. So whichever version feels right for you today. And then gently lower down. We'll switch our legs. Right foot in toward the groin, left leg extends out. We'll start with the right hand on the left knee, turning to face that leg, and then extending out, lengthening over the leg as much as feels okay, sliding the hand down. Lengthening with the inhale, softening through the exhale. Gently releasing anywhere you might be holding on. The leg, the hip, or the back. With the next inhale, lift up tall. We'll turn to face the right leg, bringing the left hand to the right knee. Gently twisting to face that right leg. Inhale the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body, left shoulder coming toward the thigh, keeping the torso facing the wall. The right arm can come over the ear toward the foot if that feels okay, or can stay at the low back. Again, whatever version feels best for you in this moment. Noticing where you can soften, Sometimes that right hip wants to pull up, so if you can gently release it down, that will allow for that nice stretch through that QL muscle. And then with your next inhale, lift up. We'll bring the right hand to the mat. Left arm extends over the left leg. And again, lifting into crescent, either keeping the hip down, opening here, or lifting up onto that knee, opening here. And with your next exhale, gently lower down. We'll come back to a cross-legged position. Lengthening the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Reaching through the crown of your head with your next inhaling breath. And as you exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder. Tucking the shoulder back and down. Breathing into the left side of the neck. If it feels okay, you could bring the left arm across the low back. And also, if it feels okay, you could wrap the right arm around the head, resting the hand on the left ear. Without pulling, just adding a little extra weight. Breathing into the left side of the neck. And with your next inhale, releasing the hands and coming back to center. Letting the breath go. With your next inhale, reach to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, drop the left ear over the left shoulder, tucking the left shoulder back and down. Breathing into the right side of the neck. If it feels okay, you could bring the right arm across the low back. And you can also wrap the left arm around the head, resting the hand on the right side of the head without pulling, just adding a little extra weight. Keeping the heart lifted. Breathing into the right side of the neck. With your next inhale, release the hands and let the breath go. Inhale, lengthening up tall. Exhale the chin over the right shoulder. Hold and breathe. Shoulders are back and down, heart is lifted. With your next inhale, come back to the center. And as you exhale, turn the chin over your left shoulder. With your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale, drop the chin toward the chest, keeping the shoulders back and down. Just releasing through the back of the neck. If it feels good, you can kind of rock the chin from side to side. Feeling that stretch in the back of the neck in a little different way. Being really careful and listening to your body. And coming back to the center with your next inhale, lift the head up tall and let the breath go. Let's come to the center of the mat. If you want to put on some socks, or if you've taken off a sweater or something, you can add that back on as we start to slow down and our bodies cool off. Let's round the spine, rolling back. If you'd like a block, you can have that with you as well. Lifting the feet up toward the sky, rocking the hands, or a block underneath the hips. Neck is nice and long. Ankles and knees are relaxed. Belly muscles are soft as you breathe into the belly. Gently bend the knees, rocking the hands or block out from underneath. We'll hug the knees into the chest. Can rock from side to side, or begin making slow, gentle circles with your low back. And reverse the circles. Coming back to the center, extend the arms out at shoulder height, knees together. Gently dropping the knees to the right, vision to the left. Soften around the hip and through the spine. With your next inhale, come back to the center. And as you exhale, gently lower the knees to the left, vision to the right. Softening around the hip and through the spine. Gently letting go. With your next inhale, come back to the center. Hugging the knees in. We'll gently spread the knees wide. If you'd like, you can bring your hands behind your knees or reach the arms between the legs, taking hold of the arches of the feet. From either position, bring the soles of the feet to face the ceiling. Lengthen through the neck, low back sinks toward the mat. Relax the muscles of the face as you surrender into Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. And lowering the feet, bringing the knees back together. We'll gently extend the legs out, preparing for Shavasana. If you'd like to cover with a blanket, please go ahead and do that as well, just to keep the warmth in your body. You can have the knees bent, feet out at the edges of the mat with the knees resting together if that feels better for your low back. You could also have the legs extended with a bolster or blanket under the knees, or just extended on their own. If your legs are extended, allow them to be around hip width apart. Tuck the shoulders back and down, arms slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. Relax your forehead, soften your eyes, loosen your jaw. And gently bring your awareness back to the breath. Allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allowing each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. Release your muscles from the bones, surrendering them to the earth, feeling its strength and support beneath you. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself. Sending that loving kindness to each and every cell of your body. Honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, you can gently bend your knees, roll to your side, and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our community, and for ourselves. Thank you all so much for joining me today.